excellent question. I think in the main, it's how to communicate with our customers. In today's age, everybody's bombarded with marketing. And so how do you differentiate yourself as a company? And how do you get your message across to the audience? Obviously, graphics has a big role to play in that. But I think companies have to be more innovative in terms of how they approach that.
The resistance to change, that is the critical issue that I continue to see, that printers want to change, this industry wants to change, but actions speak louder than words. So they dig in their heels and want to continue to do things the way they've been doing them. And if they don't change, I don't feel that they'll find the level of success that they're looking to attain as a business.
Well, I think it's always about growth. The graphic communications industry has to get into a growth mode and a mindset about how to deliver new products and services in a different way. We look about ink on paper, and it's not about that. It's about visual communications. How can we be expanding our businesses to provide other services that are ancillary to just printing?
Well, I've seen over the past years, unfortunately, we've seen a great reduction in the product movement among different groups and across different territories. And I think over the next period of time is that people are going to have to continue to deal with the fact that print has a new definition, that it's no longer physically just printed media.
I think we're still digging out from the recession that we've experienced over the last 18 to 24 months. During that time period, I think every company has had a look at their model and make the necessary adjustments to the recession that we've experienced.
I think the biggest thing is speed. The world is changing pretty rapidly in terms of how people use print and how people use media in general, and the social media question sort of plays into that. It's, I think, how fast you can adapt to the changing market conditions and environments that are out there and bring the services that customers are going to be looking for in the future.
I think the critical issue has been with us for a number of years with the convergence of technology, shifting from analog to digital, and looking at the changes in graphic communications. There's a big shift and change in terms of digital. Great example is you go out, drive down the freeway, and you start to see now proliferation of electronic signage. And so for the print provider, they kind of scratch their heads and say, what role do we play? We look at that as an opportunity, because that's going to stimulate some new applications and drive some new awareness.
Well, it's not only the next year, but I'd say probably from here on out, I think the industry has to face the reality that it's not going to be print-centric anymore. And what I mean by that is that although there will always be a place for print, it's not going to be the primary mass media communication tool.
For us, I know, and for a lot of people that I talk to in the industry, it's definitely the economy. I mean, capital investment is difficult to achieve and to get. So we're hoping that with time that's going to loosen up, the economy will get better, and we'll be able to have some of our customers expand where they want to go.
I think the most critical issue that most printers are dealing with today is how do I handle short-run, high-quality, fast turnaround printing. I mean, more and more the demands on a printer are to do it faster, quicker, better, at a cheaper cost.
One of the issues that our customers talk to us about, and we have customer councils, and of course it's the day-to-day interaction that you have through the sales process, is it's undeniable that we're seeing declining run lengths. We're seeing printers that had a business and a business model perhaps a few years ago that looked one way, and now post-recession, or if you believe we're beyond the recession, they are clearly faced with a different scenario in terms of either less customers, less print, or declining run lengths.
A critical stage right now is that print needs to make itself relevant. Or more relevant to the marketplace. I think there's been, with all the talk of digital media and everything else, print's been overshadowed a little bit. And I think the time is right, especially looking at some of the more recent reports and things that have come out on print sustainability, the greenness of print, and things like that. The print really needs to make a push to show that it really still can be and is a major player.
We've seen the numbers of print providers, we've seen the consolidation in the industry, we've seen them begin to that shrink, and as the total number of providers. And the challenge they have is really making the adjustment to the new way of communication, and what they can do that's going to differentiate themselves. If you're only a commodity print provider, then obviously you need to really think about how you can differentiate yourselves and what you can do to help to build the business in a different way.
I think there are several challenges. One of the major challenges I see is there's a transition happening between the traditional lithography printing and digital printing. And what I see is a lot of customers that are starting to get into digital. They're realizing that it's a very profitable business, but they still have their roots in lithography. So trying to understand how to price jobs, how to complete jobs, how to set expectations properly, how to make sure that the customer understands that it's that there is value to printing less but more personalization.
Well, one of the ones we're focusing on is accountability. Customers come to professionals in the graphics industry and they expect help communicating their ideas, getting their products out there, and they really need us to be able to be consultative and help them understand what's working and what's not. And new media makes it increasingly possible to measure, understand who's consuming the ideas and vehicles that we're putting out there. And so accountability is really important to helping clients know what's working and what's not.
The most critical thing that I see the graphic industry facing in the next year is continuous change. In fact, probably more rapid change. And right now is the time that people need to think about and invest in ways to address that change.
I think that's going to be a continuation of what we've seen in the past year. And I think there are probably two great elements there. One is the economy and the other is sort of the trend towards suppression of print media in favor of electronic media. And I think that on the first side of that, when we look at the economy, I think that people will start to see that the economy is picking up, and we've already seen that in the last quarter or two. We've seen a lot of increased interest. And I think that they're going to find more ways to incorporate printing back into their full media messaging and marketing plan.